Hello, 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 and good afternoon. Thank you all for being here. Um, this is going to be, and I want to say this as preliminary because it is a sensitive topic, and I want to treat it as such due to the fact that this young lady has not been laid to rest. Um, and I want to treat it sensitive as any other mother would want that done for their baby. Um, I do have Heidi coming up, but I'm going to give you all, let's say, got Mims, Miss Susan, Celia, Harmony, let's see, Gracie, Miss Tina, Margene, Vixie, and Dom. I see ya, and Virgie, hello. Um, the picture that you all seen on the thumbnail, that is Madison Brooks. So I want to cover this just as you'd want your daughter's story told, because this is all ongoing. She has not been laid to rest, and I want to give that to the parents and to the family and the friends. Hello, Virgie. Hello, Heidi. Big Bad Wolf. See, got you, Gracie. Miss Tina. Got you, Dom. Hello, Marindy. Welcome, welcome. So I'm going to drop a link for Miss Heidi. Get that. Hello, Duchess of Petty. I see you, Margene. Yeah, I just want to do this as I would want my daughters if it were one of mine. So, and she does have a foundation that does that with Grace. And also, want to let it be known that they have started a ride share. The LSU students, I think it was the freshman students, have started a ride share that if you are in a situation like this, that you can get a ride. You can get a ride. So that link is for you, Heidi. Hello, Carrie. Hello, Susu. And that is the foundation. Hello, Nano. I hope you're getting better. Let's see. I got you, Virgie. Got Dawn. Yes, and she will be laid to rest on the 3rd. So that's why I wanted to cover it just, as kindly as I can. I'm going to drop that link for her one more time. And then I'm going to give some more facts here. Even though at 19 her life did end, she did save some lives. She did. She was a donator. She donated her kidneys and her heart. All right. Hello, sweetie.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Hello, crazy cat mama.
I am
Okay.
fine.
All right.
Woo.
I want to put up some things. I sent you. Let me see. I did
I
send you
have it.
the. Okay, because I can put those up. I need to take some things down. That way I can put those up. Because God knows I probably won't be able to read all of that. All right.
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Let me move that. Delete.
I think
Okay.
you should show the video first.
All right. Let me get to this one. Okay. Now, we do have video coverage that was sent to me. Let me go to my Gmail to grab it. And then we'll get into some of the other stuff, and that is her blood, her BAC, in fact, of what Gracie is saying. Hello,
And for
Amanda.
everybody
Welcome,
that
welcome.
doesn't know what BAC is, it's your black blood alcohol. Um, Good gracious. Hi, everybody. I'm
Content.
sorry. Let me turn my laptop. Let me log out for a minute at work. Okay, I'm here, Terralyn.
Okay, getting it now. Going to man box. Come on. Next. It is me. Okay, here we go. All right, come on. Myself. Where did I send you? It's loading still. You know what? If it doesn't come on quick, I'm just going to go get mine. I'm just going to pull up this one then. If it doesn't come on, I'm pulling up this one.
What are you trying to do, Tio?
To pull up the, it's not pulling up on my email yet, so my email's loading slow.
I told you to load this stuff. Okay.
All right, I got it. I'm just going to go to the newest one. Hello, South Dakota. All right. Let me go to that one. All right. Let's see if I can get this to play. Yes. Oh, I did have them saved, but I was like, let me get this one. All right. Here we go. Come on. I don't want your commercials. All right. Let me share my screen. All right. And hopefully this will.
County Medical Examiner's Office and Distinguished Scholar of Applied Forensics at Jacksonville State University. Joseph, there's two meetings as I see it. One, consent to the reported sex and causation, whether or not the acts of these ultimately caused her death. How do investigators begin to piece that puzzle together?
Well, to put it plainly, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. It's certainly a tragedy. My heart is out to Maddie's family at this time. I got to tell you, it's so convoluted and confusing. But what we do know is that the level of alcohol that she had on board would put her in a position. And just understand this, as was reported, sometimes a legal limit. She was breaching almost at 0.32. You start to get up into the 0.31 area, you're talking about almost in a coma at that particular time. And to suggest that she could actually consent to any kind of behavior at that point in time is absolutely ludicrous. Now, I can't tell you what will happen and what has happened up to this point. They certainly performed some type of rape kit on her, either at the hospital or unfortunately when her remains were taken to the coroner's office. And they will be collecting DNA in this case. And again, at the end of the day, Of course, I'm a forensic scientist, and I believe that all of the answers are going to rest in science. And also any kind of technical data that they have, particularly involving CCTV outside of Reggie's bar that has been commented on. Was she ambulatory? Was she non-ambulatory? Did they have to assist her in order to get her into this vehicle? Of course, you've got four individuals that are involved in this.
Carolyn, stop it right there. Stop it.
See how they.
Okay, pause it. Okay, he just said that they needed to have help to get her into the vehicle. The video I saw with her leaping across the street, she didn't look like she was inebriated. Well, I'm telling you, that's the video I wanted you to play. You see her, she's in a circle, she's walking across the street, and she goes past that car, and she goes to those young men, and she leaves with them. So when they're saying that she was forced in the car, I don't like that part. What happened to her was horrible, but what they're saying doesn't coincide with the video that I saw. And you have it too. Okay,
yes, I do have that.
Sorry.
I do have that video. I'd rather play that. Let me play that video.
Oh, he said he thought that. Yeah, because if he looked at the same video that we saw, you'll see she walked over to them. Now, whether she met them, and I know where this place is. I used to pass this place all the time. So when they said that and I saw this video, I'm like, wait a minute. She could have been, I mean, it doesn't take, but she didn't seem like she was walking intoxicated when she was skipping across the street, unless they left and went somewhere else, or they drank some more after they left that bar.
No, I only had that window open. That's why it had me kind of like, what the heck's going on? I'm going to pull that. Okay, let me pull them, because that one did have me, and I do have pictures that I would want to show. Let me go with that one.
Yep, it's wrong all the way around. Okay. Hi, Kat. Hi, everybody. That's just, I saw you sent me a DM. I'm going to get to it. I'm still working. Yeah, so the echo was really bad, Carolyn. I don't know what else you have right open.
And I didn't nothing. That's why I was like, nothing. It was just StreamYard. I was like, but I'll mute the next time.
You shared your screen and everything, right? Okay.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, what the heck? Okay, so let's go to this one.
The echo was horrible.
This is going to be the video of her. What I'll do is, this time I'll mute when I go to share this. I'm going to open, close out every daggone thing. All right. And if I get this stopped before it starts. Okay. And then I'll mute myself, and then y'all tell me if y'all still here.
Okay.
Let me close that. I want to close. I'm going to share my, and then I'm going to mute, because it might have been my mic. I don't know.
Okay.
All right. Share screen. All right. Share. So when I start this, I'm muting. I'm going to go ahead and mute now.
And when you see her walking with the circle, I want you to pause it, please. They're the guys going out, and she's coming behind them. There she is, right there. Okay, go ahead, TL. Just let it go. Okay, TL, play it. See, she meets up with them. She's over there talking to them. And then they walk off. She doesn't look like she was stumbling or inebriated to me. I think when they left there, they went someplace else and they were drinking or they had drinks in the car.
All right. Okay, so I got that. Did I stop it? What I do have is, okay, that's the other thing right there. I want to know how much that the serving, but I know what the blood alcohol content was. But here's what I do have. I'm going to share this. Yeah, and she actually did work there, which was, yeah.
Yep.
That had me a little, yeah. 19
and they were
years
serving
old.
drinks. It's a college hangout for that Baton Rouge campus. So they're in that
Okay.
drinking all the time. Yep, they are.
Here's what I do have right here. Let me lower this, and welcome to everybody that's coming in. Okay, so if you can see this, that is the first. They're given like a little timeline here.
Mm-hmm.
That's where she was, and then we got the number 2, and they're pointing out, they're pinpointing. If you can see that, the areas right there, and then
Mm-hmm.
3 is where her body was tossed and ultimately ran over, and they've got the little timeline there. Now,
Well, see, okay, here's when I have an issue. They said tossed, but then when you see it, it says she was dropped off. So I'm trying to understand, was she tossed out the car and then hit by another car, or was she dropped off and she stumbled in the street and she was hit? I'm trying to understand everything here because you listen to some people, they said toss. The other guys, they turned themselves in. They said they dropped her off. So
okay,
that's what I'm trying to understand.
and then we've got we, of course, you can't show the minor.
Yep, you can't show them.
Okay, you cannot.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot show them. These are the 3 that they have the mug shots for, and you do realize that we have some that have bonded out.
2 that have bonded out.
2 that bonded out.
It's
They're
the
out on
first
bond.
2. It'd be Kaysen and Washington with the blonde hair.
I'm gonna see if I can. Where is? I'm gonna knock my banner out. That way you'll see right there. I think that the 3rd is the eldest member, right?
Yep, he's 28.
Okay, I want to make sure. Okay, got that. Let me get this. Let me get the next. Now I do
Now,
have. Let me see.
okay,
I
so,
do
but
have.
just let him know the 4th person is a 17-year-old.
Yeah, that's a
And
minor.
he's in a juvenile detention center.
Okay. I want to also show. I want to make sure I got the right papers that I'm going to pull up. Is this the one here? Yes. Make sure this is the right one. What does this one say here? Is this the one I want to see? Because I cannot see this. Hold on. I got to see what I saved. Hello, Penny. Hello. Hello, Pre with Pistols. Let me see if this is the right one. Can you see that or no?
Yes, I see it.
Okay.
That's the affidavit.
Yes. Okay, that's the first one. Let me see if I can read that. Let me go to it. Because I'm probably going to have to read it off my phone because I can't see it any other way. And that one there is the state of Louisiana versus, is it Kavion, Washington?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Kavan, Washington. Mm-hmm.
Okay. They were accused with having volatile, with having violated. And the charged with 3rd degree are, let's see. I see if I can even read any of this. If I can't, if you want to, if you can, because I can't barely see it.
Oh my God, you should have told me you wanted me to read it. Hold on, let me pull it up. I hope I don't lose you. Do you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, okay, let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. You should have told me you wanted me to read it, woman. Okay, hold on. Let me get to it. Okay, so the affidavit states it was issued on, when is that? It doesn't say. So, in the affidavit, the detective lieutenant currently commissioned by the deputy sheriff, blah, 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 on January 16th, 2023, approximately 16:49 hours, I was asked to assist our traffic division with a fatality investigation. On January 15th at 2023 at approximately 0250 hours, the traffic division responded to a fatal crash on Burbank Drive, East Baton Rouge Parish.
All right, there's the second one. Hello, Pre with Pistols. Hello, Stacy. I seen the Friends interview. I did, and it was sad.
Can you hear me? Hello? Does anybody
I
hear me?
can't. I
Can
can
you
hear
hear
you
me?
now.
I was
I can
reading
hear
the
you now.
affidavit. Did you hear me reading it?
Not the second one. No,
Okay.
not this one.
Because you were talking and I couldn't. I was like, okay, hold on. So let me go back. Hold on. Hold on. Let me go back and read. Okay. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So Kaysen turned himself in. He was advised of his Miranda warning. Post Miranda, the co-defendant admitted that on January 15th, 2023, he, his 17-year-old juvenile male friend, his 18-year-old friend, Mr. Kevin Washington, and Mr. Washington's uncle all went to a local bar on Ba Petit Boulevard in East Baton Rouge. The co-defendant admitted that while at the bar, he and his friends consumed alcoholic beverages. I know they done shut Ricky. I know they shut Ricky's down. I don't know why they've been doing it. The co-defendant also admitted that, wait a minute, that the victim consumed alcohol beverages while at the bar. The co-defendant.
Oh, man, I don't know where she went. There was a one of age, and Reggie's Bar cannot sell alcohol. There's no sound though, Heidi.
Terrelyn, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, let me get on my laptop. I'm gonna come back in so I can read this because I was on my phone. Okay, I'm gonna log in from my laptop so I can read this because whenever I go out, They can't hear me. So I need to jump on my laptop real quick, okay? And that way I can read it. Okay, so I'm gonna drop down. I'll be back.
Okay. I'm gonna play the. I will be playing the what the friend had to say. I'll make her interview. Let me see. Then I want to also show some other things on here. Okay, there's the link. She got it. There you go.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let me get this. There's an echo, Terry Lynn.
I don't know how you have an echo.
I don't know. It's gone. Okay.
Okay.
So Kaysen turned himself in. He said that he noticed that there's an echo.
I don't hear an echo.
Okay, fix my mic, Terry Lynn, please.
All right. Let me see. Okay. All right.
So Coffee loves company. Here's my thing. We just saw the video with her crossing the street. When did she fall down? Was it inside the bar?
See, that's what I've been looking for because I couldn't find anything. I've got everything of her leaving that bar. Everything. And I'm still going through, and I haven't found one of falling yet.
Okay, I just adjusted my mic. Okay, there's no echo for me now. I'm sorry. It was driving me nuts. It was my mic. Okay, so inside the bar, thank you, Grace, because we saw her running across the street. So Kaysen said that he saw the victim and a 17-year-old juvenile friend. They were hugging and walking together. The co-defendant stated the victim asked for a ride home, and he admitted that he agreed to give her a ride because he did not want to leave her while very intoxicated and the bar was closing. Now, she worked there. She couldn't get a ride home. The co-defendant stated he asked the victim about her friends, but she was drunk and did not know where her friends were. Thank you for that. The co-defendant admitted that the victim got in his vehicle with his friends. The co-defendant stated he sat in the driver's seat and Mr. Washington's uncle, which is the older one, sat in the front passenger seat. The co-defendant stated his 17-year-old juvenile friend, the victim, and Mr. Washington sat in the rear seat. The co-defendant stated he asked the victim for her address, but she fell over and could not answer him. This woman was inebriated, but that didn't, something is wrong here. Mr. Carter admitted that he drove a short distance to a nearby street, possibly Jennifer Jean Drive, and parked. The co-defendant stated he overheard his 17-year-old juvenile friend as he asked the victim 5 times if she wanted to have sex with him. The co-defendant stated the victim gave verbal consent, really, but you couldn't understand anything else she was saying, to his 17-year-old juvenile friend. The co-defendant stated the victim and his 17-year-old juvenile had sex in the vehicle's rear seats. But wasn't the other one back there too? The co-defendant stated while his 17-year-old juvenile friend and hold on, let me get to the other page. And the victim were having sex, Mr. Washington exited his vehicle. It's amazing how he's trying to distance himself from this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The co-defendant stated once his 17-year-old juvenile friend finished the sex act with the victim, Mr. Washington returned to the vehicle and his 17-year-old juvenile friend exited the vehicle. The co-defendant stated Mr. Washington and the victim numerous times if she wanted to have, if she wanted to have sex, and they're just repeating this one. The co-defendant admitted that Mr. Washington then had sex with the victim in the rear. The co-defendant admitted that he and Mr. Washington's uncle remained in the front seats. See, I got a problem. I thought he said he exited the car.
Exactly.
Oh, Mr. Washington, the one that was in the back seat, he exited the car. The Cason and the uncle stayed in the front seat of the vehicle while the sex act was being performed with the victim. The co-defendant stated once he stated, "We got here to stop this, let's go," Mr. Washington and the victim stopped having sex and put their clothes on. The defendant stated that he had drove away from the area and went to bring the victim home. I got a problem. I have a problem with this, Terry Lynn. She was so incoherent that they couldn't get her address and they couldn't understand what she was saying. But she consented to sex in the back seat. He stayed in the front seat. The uncle was in the uncle and him were in the front seat when the 18-year-old Kevin left and he got out the car. I got a problem with this. The co-defendant admitted while the sex act was being performed with the victim, he felt uncomfortable and he hated it. So why in the fuck were you still in the front seat in the driver's seat? The co-defendant asks, oh, wait a minute. The co-defendant, I can't read, it's blurry, alluded he thought the victim was drunken and her speech was slurred. During the interview, the co-defendant was asked if the victim was 100% impaired to consent to sexual intercourse, and he replied, "I guess." Wait a minute, what do you mean you guess? The co-defendant stated they drove around attempting to locate where the victim lived and finally dropped her off in a subdivision. On January 18, 2023, a postmortem examination of the victim's body was performed by East Baton Rouge Parish Coroner's Office. During the autopsy, the pathological report that the victim had injuries consistent with previous sexual anally. Wait a minute. It was anal sex.
There's a yes. Trigger warning. Yes.
Trigger warning. They are all liars, Gracie. Thank you. It was also reported that the victim's urine samples collected at East Baton Rouge Parish Coroner's Office was positive for THC.
Yes, so and one of them videoed the sex act, by the way, trigger warning. The video will not be released, and that's one of the other reasons I thought this is very sensitive. It's very sensitive. It reminded me of the Vanderbilt trial, to be honest. But
so not only was she drinking, she was smoking weed. Okay, on January 19th, I received a copy of the victim's medical records from the time of her ambulatory to the hospital on January 15th. Per the medical records, a sample of the victim's blood was collected. The blood alcohol concentration testing. The medical records showed the victim's blood alcohol consistent with 3-1. Shit. She was lit.
She was 4 times the legal limit.
Oh my
4
God.
times.
The medical records also showed that the victim's urine sample insisted for THC. Of course, we said that according to the university, I can't see that. That's blurred. The effects of blood alcohol and THC are failed alcohol. She had alcohol poisoning. Yep, that's what she had. She had alcohol poisoning. Oh my God. According to the footage obtained from the said bar, the surrounding businesses, the victim was seen arriving at the bar at approximately 22:06 hours, that's 10 p.m., at approximately 22:18 hours, that is 1:21. I guess this is so blurry. Your camera is horrible. The 17-year-old juvenile friend had been hugging and I can't. This is really blurry. I can't read the rest. You're gonna have to get a cleaner copy. It's really, really blurry. And I'm trying to pull it. 319. Yep, 4 times the legal limit. Let me go see. Can I pull this affidavit because I can't read it. Okay, Timberland, go ahead.
I can put it on screen. What page are you on?
I was on the this will be the 4th page. No,
4th page.
2. It'll be the 4th page.
All right, let me see.
Third page. I'm sorry. Affidavit.
Here's the 3rd page. All right, open.
Jason Carver.
All right, there you go.
Hold on. I have it. Okay, I have it. I just pulled it up. I have it. Okay, got it. Okay, so according to the video footage obtained from said bar and the surrounding businesses, the victim was seen arriving at the bar at approximately 10:06 p.m. and approximately 10:18 p.m. Mr. Carver and the others were seen arriving at the bar. Inside the bar, the victim and Mr. Carson's 17-year-old juvenile friend were seen hugging and dancing. At approximately 1 a.m., the victim was seen sitting on a stool by the counter at the bar. The victim was then seen getting up, adjusted her pants, and stumbled backwards. The victim got back on her feet with the help of the 3 individuals. At approximately 1:34 a.m., the victim was seen sitting on a bench by the entrance door. The victim was then seen getting up and fell. Mr. Carver's 17-year-old juvenile friend was then seen walking towards the victim and remove her baseball cap. The victim was then seen grabbing Mr. Carver's 17-year-old juvenile's friend's hand while getting back on her feet. At approximately 1:49 a.m., Mr. Carver, the victim, and the others were seen leaving the bar at approximately 1:51 a.m. Mr. Carver, the victim, and the others were seen walking towards the location of their parked vehicle. At approximately 1:54 a.m., the victim, Mr. Carver's friends were seen getting in the vehicle. At approximately 1:59 a.m., the victim was seen heading towards Nicholson Drive. Approximately 50 minutes later, the victim was involved in a deadly crash. On January 21st, I contacted Mr. Carver's 17-year-old juvenile friend's mother. The mother stated she and her son did not want to provide a statement. I also contacted Mr. Washington at the sheriff's office headquarters, where he was verbally advised of his Miranda warning. Mr. Washington voluntarily waived his right to an attorney and agreed to provide a statement. So this is Kevin, Kaivon, Kevin. But he was arrested and he was bailed out on $150,000. I want to know who his family is to bail him out with that kind of money. At the beginning of the interview, Mr. Washington expressed that he was sad about the victim's death, and he stated, "We were the last people she seen." Mr. Washington admitted that he and his friend left the bar with the victim and walked together towards the vehicle. Mr. Washington stated he was walking behind the victim and his friends. He laughed in his mind and he said, "How y'all meet a random girl and just bring her home?" Mr. Washington also admitted that the victim did not have her balance and she stumbled. Mr. Washington stated while approaching their vehicle, the victim attempted to open a random vehicle's door. Mr. Washington stated he and his friends had to tell the victim she was pulling on the wrong vehicle door handle. Mr. Washington stated once they left the bar in the vehicle, he witnessed the victim and his 17-year-old juvenile friend as they touched each other's private area while in the vehicle. Mr. Washington stated his 17-year-old juvenile friend had his hand on the victim's vagina area and over her clothing. Mr. Washington stated the victim also had her hand on a 17-year-old friend's penis area over her clothing. Mr. Washington denied witnessing sex between the victim and the 17-year-old juvenile friend and denied having sex with the victim. So he was the one in the back seat and he was the one that got out the car. Mr. Washington also stated that the victim was drunk, and he stated, like when I tell you drunk, she was drunk. Mr. Washington also admitted he and his friends dropped her off at a subdivision near the crash scene. Mr. Washington also admitted that his uncle went to the bar with him and his friend, and he identified his uncle as Mr. Lee. Once Mr. Washington was asked for his reference oral DNA swab, he requested an attorney. I contacted Mr. Lee and he refused to meet in order to provide a statement. Mr. Lee positively identified himself. He voluntarily stated that he was in the passenger seat when the victim, his nephew, and his nephew's friends were in the vehicle. I note several search warrants were applied and granted in reference to this investigation. Based on Mr. Carver's voluntary statements, the victim medical findings, and Mr. Carver's co-defendant statement, I request an arrest warrant be issued for Mr. Carver's arrest for violating LRS. I didn't get a chance to look that up. Third-degree rape and anal. Affidavit certifies under oath that the information contained herein to be true and correct to the best of my knowledge, under penalties of perjury, and requests that the warrant of arrest of the accused be issued. So, Tariq.
And so, if you look at this right here, $27,500 needed for the three total to get out the bond. They shared a bond, and I do have another video. That
wait a minute, let me ask you. Washington, it said that Washington posted his bond was at $150,000. So you're gonna pay 15% because it's not 30% in Louisiana.
A combined $275,000 is what they had, and they let them all. Let me get it here.
Out for $27,000. That's the money that came out the pocket, or the money they had to pay the bail bondsman.
Yep. And they were able to bond. The 17-year-old I have read is still
okay. It's 10%. Okay.
And now I've got this other video that it's another video of the share. I'm going to share, and this is going to be an attorney speaking. I'm going to share it because I got it I had to send it to my Instagram, and I'm going to share it.
I'm sorry, guys. I couldn't. I had to get the affidavit so I can read it. And yeah, I don't believe anything they're saying in there. There's more. They asked for his DNA, which I get it. It's your right to have an attorney, and his other friend stated he was outside the car, but I think they're all lying. Okay, Terry Lynn, go ahead.
Okay, video show. Let me see if I got this right. It's not working. Okay, I need to go back and do it again. Let me get her off the screen.
And I'm just going to tell you while she's trying to get this done, there were 2 Texas Southern students. There was a mass shooting in Houston a few days back. 2 beautiful, beautiful Texas Southern students, Texas Southern University. They're right now in a hospital in Houston, and they're not releasing their conditions because they were hit by bullets.
Back on this, okay. And I'm going to play it. Here we go.
Fair use, fair use, fair use.
Yes, fair use.
Tigerland, showing the moments between Madison Brooks and the four men she was hanging out with on the night in question. Investigators have said Madison Brooks, who's underage, drinking with other underage men at Ricky's bar. Carlos Dewey is here to.
Madison Brooks died just days later in the hospital after being hit by that car on Burbank Drive. A new video obtained by WAFB shines a light on some of her last moments before that accident and before she was allegedly sexually assaulted. This surveillance video was captured at around 1:50 in the morning on Sunday, January 15th. The footage points towards Reggie's bar. If you take a good look at the video, it first shows 4 people walk across the street towards a parking lot. Sources tell us the next person you see running across the screen there to meet up with the 4 guys is Madison Brooks. Ron Haley is representing 2 of the men facing charges.
The 4 were going and read it. We're either followed by the deceased or the deceased would accompany him to the car. She willfully got into the car, said that her rides had left her, and got in.
Investigators say Madison Brooks left Reggie's bar that night with those 4 guys she had just met at the bar. Investigators have also said that Madison Brooks was too drunk to later give consent to having sex shortly after this video. In the video, Madison Brooks is seen walking with the 4 men across another parking lot.
After that point in time, there was consensual sexual acts done in that car with her and 2 other individuals at 2 separate times.
Moments after the alleged sexual assault.
Wait a minute. Stop.
Dropped her off.
Stop. He said she had sex with 2 of the individuals at 2 separate times. That's not what the statement said. Terry Lynn, did you hear that? Hello?
I did hear it. I did.
But not in the statements, nobody else state they had sex with this girl. Carver said he was in the front driver's seat. The uncle was in the passenger seat. Washington, the younger Washington, got out the car. So
they took
now
turns.
They're saying that 2 of them had sex with her. What 2?
Mm-hmm. Well,
see, that's what I'm saying. Those statements don't ring but if they were having anal sex, the damn sure couldn't do it with the other one in the back seat. So did Washington get back in the car and do her, or did Carver do her, or did the uncle do her? Okay, go ahead.
From what I've read, it was turns.
They took turns.
Okay, here we go.
I'm going to take out the car, put you out. You stumble onto Burbank, and this happens. That's not what happened. In this case.
Attorney of the rape charges. Madison Brooks's alcohol level when she went to the hospital 4 times the legal limit. Meanwhile, because arrest documents say everyone involved in this encounter was drinking at Reggie's, the bar had its liquor license suspended. In a statement from Reggie's, it says the owner of Reggie's has fully cooperated with the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office, Louisiana State Police, and the East Baton Rouge ABC office since their first request for assistance in their ongoing investigations, and will continue to do so. We look forward to meeting with State ATC and East Baton Rouge ABC officials as soon as possible to address their concerns and to ensure accurate facts and all information they require to complete their investigation.
But they also have to remember that it is not a right, but a privilege to have a license. And when you do that, you are taking on the responsibility of obeying the law.
While the local ABC board did not take any action tonight, Councilwoman Denise Amoroso says Something needs to be done, including possibly increasing the fines on bars for underage drinking.
That would definitely be my recommendation. When you're looking at a $500 fine, it's nothing, compared to some of these bars and what some of these bars make.
You can see that full surveillance video right now on our 9 News app. Greg?
All right, Lester, thank you for that.
Two of them. So the juvenile, the mother she didn't want to give a statement. Oh, honey, but your son is involved. My issue is everybody's saying she was drunk. She was stumbling. She didn't know her address. Why in the hell do you think she would consent to having sex?
And there's where she was put out right there. Hello.
She had her hands on his penis. He had his hands on her vagina area. But yet you're telling me that she consented. Okay. But you're saying she was drunk. I have not dated one guy that likes having sex with a drunk woman. Trust me, I haven't.
I know I have never. And with the BAC the way it was, I cannot say from anything I've ever come into read or anything that she could have consented.
Yeah, but where was her friends? Why would you leave her there? And she's drinking.
I don't believe that she was there with a friend.
But I thought the girl that when she ran across the street, the girl was was trying to get to her. I thought they rode together.
No, there was no friend with her. That's why
the interview worked at that bar. And here's my thing. Somebody said she worked there. If she worked at the bar, they should have known her. They should have known to get her out and get her home safely. That is my problem. You worked at the bar. That means they should know you.
Yes. Yes,
they wouldn't just let you keep falling and not trying to get you out of there or call someone to come get you.
And this is, if she was that incoherent, I always was told if you go together, you leave together.
You leave together.
You do not. But apparently she was not there with any friends except for the people, of course, that she would have known that worked there.
Because she arrived by herself. So how did she get there?
Yes. I'm assuming that she drove. She drove.
Okay. This has my blood boiling, and I have a meeting at 1:00, but my blood is boiling, Terry Lynn, and ever since I saw it and heard about it, my blood has been boiling.
And there's more that's coming out that because she has not been laid to rest, and she hasn't. It's like I don't want to over do this because it is sensitive. It's really sensitive. But her friend, I'm going to pull the article where her friend does speak, because her friend even said she did not know why she would have went to this, alone, because it wasn't like her.
Okay. Well, somebody said I didn't know she worked there. Hi, Kat. But somebody seems to know that she worked at that bar because it was stated she worked there. But that's what I'm saying. If she did work at that bar, that means they should have known her. They should have made sure she got home safely. If you see something like that going on in a bar like that, and God knows we go to all these bars in Louisiana and Texas, we're down there. People, oh my God, this is sad. I really feel bad for her, but their statements is BS. It's full of BS. It's like Carver and Washington are covering for each other and throwing. I'm thinking the uncle may have had sex with this young woman. That's what I'm thinking. Or maybe the driver. But it's clearly stated, two of them. Two. And they took turns. Now, why would you drop her off at a subdivision if you don't know that's where she lived at? Why would you do that? So,
okay, I'm queuing up this video here.
Okay, her sorority sisters work there too. Thank you. So that's what I'm saying. She's falling and stumbling in the bar. She works there. Why didn't someone call and get her home safely? This shit isn't funny. And I know that it's a hangout for LSU is not that far down the road. I got 5 minutes.
Here we go.
I'm sorry, Carolyn. I'm
going to play this in real. I'm going to start. No, I'm just going to start it real quick, and share this because the student. Let me see. Let me make sure this is the right one. I think it's this one here. Yes. So we're going to play this one. Share. I'm going to mute.
Brooks, who was later hit and killed by a car, appear in court. And an attorney for two of the men claimed there is video proving Brooks was drunk, but not to the point where she was not able to consent. Devastated loved ones, including our next guest, are remembering her as a kind soul. Ashley Odak joins us now. Ashley, so great. I'm so sorry it's under such terrible circumstances. I want to talk a little bit about what happened to her, but before I do, I want to know from you what she was like.
So in high school, I had the advantage of going with Maddie, and she was amazing. She really left me in this world with one thing, that kindness and love is always the answer, no matter what. And I remember in high school, it was really hard. And I met her in the bathroom because she was just this gorgeous girl. She was so beautiful. And I remember walking up to her in the bathroom and I was like, "You are so beautiful." And she was so nice to me, so welcoming. And she was a year older than me. And normal people would be like, like, "Thank you." Like, that's all. Maddie was so nice. She decided to games. She would come get me from the student section and we'd go dance with each other at the football games and everything. And then we went to we went to Coretta's, and she was just all around a nice person. Like, I was going through the hardest times where I felt bullied and everything, and she showed me love in like a way nobody else could.
Yeah.
And that's how I want her to be remembered. I want her to be remembered for the girl that she was. She was the nicest soul, still is.
Yeah, I mean, she does seem like a wonderful girl. I saw some of her Instagram pictures with her family. She has two younger brothers. She's very close to her parents, are wonderful. And it just seems like she was a real family-oriented girl. It is tragic what happened to her. One of the things that surprises me as a mom is that she didn't have friends with her, that she got into this vehicle with these men that she apparently didn't know very well. And yet she was in a sorority. Where were her sorority sisters? Where were her friends? Does it shock you?
Exactly.
Are you surprised that she did not have friends with her when she was out drinking like that? At least at the end of the night?
Yeah, it does shock me, but I want to make it about what she was like when she was here by the time, that's what I wanted to make it about. I want everyone in the world to know how good of a person she really was.
Of course. There are some lessons for young women. What are the lessons you're drawing from this situation?
Personally, don't go out drinking at bars. Definitely be careful. Boys tend to take advantage of young girls whenever they can. So always, always be careful and, just know your limits.
Yeah, that's great advice for young women. I saw the intoxication levels that were reported from Maddie, and it's very unlikely, in my opinion, that she was able to connect. The court of law will need to determine that, but good advice. Don't be careful. And I think young women should have their friends around them to protect them from these kinds of situations. Ashley, thank you so much for joining us this morning. it was difficult, and I for your and talk about that. So thanks so much for joining us, Madison Brooks. Thank you, Ashley.
She was a light.
Thank you. Madison Brooks was a 19-year-old and a sophomore student at LSU, known for her kindness and compassion, as Ashley mentioned. May she rest in peace.
There is more coming out. I just wanted to bring awareness. One, if you go together, leave together. And as this unfolds, I want to know the interviews from the friends that work there. I want to know who they are, and why they would allow her to leave if they knew, and they were serving her. They were serving her alcohol. If you're serving alcohol to someone, this is crazy to me. This is crazy. But I don't think that this girl here, I don't think that this girl actually attended the same school with her. They attended high school together. But yes, and they have set up a buddy system. If you want to drop that, Grace, you can. The freshmen have set up a buddy system, a ride system, since this happened. And this bar for serving underage kids here in Baton Rouge, and it's been that way. Oh my gosh. There are so many horror stories of girls being assaulted there. Wow. Wow. This is crazy. I didn't know that either. So hopefully that $500 fine will rise to a lot bigger fine, and maybe they'll start shutting these places down. And if you have anything that you can add to this, Megan, you're more than welcome to come up and speak about what you know about this bar. I'll drop a link. You're more than welcome. Because the more you know, the more it may help other parents that are sending their kids to college. You know, that's the scariest part, is sending your child off and not knowing much about that area, much about a bar. But you try to teach them, don't leave a glass somewhere where somebody could drop something in it. Don't leave anything unattended. Don't take a drink from anyone. And I have stated that to my own daughters. Even if they don't drink, don't take anything. I don't care if it's a Coke, if it's a Sprite, don't take it. Don't take it. No, you arrive together, you leave together. And that's just facts. I have so many more pictures I could share, but I really wanted to let this girl be laid to rest, but I wanted to bring awareness that this is happening. And they are college students a lot of times. We had it here at Vanderbilt. So they've been shut. Wait a minute. So this bar's been shut down in the past. This is awful. And if anybody else wants to come up, let's see. If Grace, you want to come up? Ambulance girl, if you want to come up and talk about this BAC, more than welcome to. But this is an ongoing investigation. Ongoing. It's not over. It looks like her mother in 19 years was very proud of her daughter. I did get this via Facebook. That is her mother and her. I did. And this was her senior class picture. Beautiful girl. Beautiful girl. And her life ended tragically. She was an organ donor. She did donate her kidneys and her heart. She did. And I don't want to show any more pictures. But on that was just something I wanted to bring light to this. I wanted to wait till more things were put out. And yes, trigger warnings, because more things are coming out as we know them. This is all still an ongoing investigation, and we don't know much more than what we have, except for it was videoed. Hello, Kat.
Hey, I'm up there right now?
I can hear you. But yes, more things
Oh,
are
okay.
emerging. There's more things out. And like I said, I just wanted to touch on this because it's ongoing investigation. This young lady has yet to be laid to rest. I don't even know if her family have her body. That it's been released to them as of yet.
Well, they can't yet because it's
So I
considered
don't.
a murder investigation. So yeah, they're not going to be
So
able to lay to
well,
rest till
they've
the
done.
investigation's over.
Yeah, they've got her burial. I think is on the 3rd of February. And that's why I said I'm going to briefly touch on it and speak on it, because I just want to respect the family. For me, it's a respect for the family, but it's also letting people that have daughters know. Talk to them now. Don't wait. Just don't wait.
That's why I always say, like my fantasy football, my little picture over there on IG, Tupac, trust nobody. I don't care if they're your best friend. You feel something in your intuition. Like my daughter made her communion last year. My son was the year before. So they they teach about like your intuition, like about sin, or if it's repent or whatever.
Yes.
So someone's telling you it's not right, it probably isn't. You call mommy. You get the fuck out of there. You call mommy. You call like you get out of there if something you feel like is wrong. And it's so hard telling little kids that, but I want them to know, like, if you feel something is wrong, you need to get out.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be involved in it. Don't have anything to do with it. Don't get violently, anything like that. Ever since the other night when we talked about that thing, and then I looked it up, there's so many wrong things about this. I didn't see anything about the
I'm
girl
going to
working at
say,
that bar.
no, that all of this is just now coming out. And there's so
Yeah.
much more, and that's why I said I'm just going to touch on it. Her 19 years were cut short. She was born on May 7th of 2003. She passed January 15th of this year. Her life was cut very short. And considering I have a 19-year-old, can't imagine the nightmare
Oh
that
yeah, the
this
one that
mother
graduated
is
beauty
going
school,
through.
right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this right here just hit me hard. And I said, I've got to say something. And I'm going to say anybody with a blood alcohol content of 0.319%, you're not giving consent for anything.
And she was accepting the drinks, obviously. You can't get alcohol in your system if you're not taking them.
Right. And
No
that
one can
was
make
what
no
I
one
say.
can make me drink anything. You know what I'm saying? No one can make me drink anything.
No, but I'm not even going to bring up that right there, because they have been shaming her for from
She's a
I've dug up.
teenager.
Yeah, but
Maybe
she's been.
she didn't know.
The thing I'm not
Whether
going
she
to
worked
touch
at a
on is
bar.
that I'm not even going to bring that up here because of what has been said. Um, and it's not nice what people are
No,
saying.
it's a life lost for no.
Um,
There's no reason for that.
yeah, well, that's why
And
I want. I'm not
in
even
the way
going to
that it was
bring it up.
lost, that's disgusting.
Yeah, I'm not even going to bring that up because of the fact that there's been a lot of shaming that. Well, she was just drunk. She wasn't. No, nope, not going to do that. And I've read too many things that have shamed this young lady. So no, I will not even touch that because
Well, there's always going to be people that say the ignorant stuff, but then there's people that are trying to get at,
right,
well, it
and that's
probably
why
happened because of this. But it's a
right,
life
that's
lost. That's someone's
right,
child.
and
So you know what? The
yes,
ignorant shit doesn't need to be addressed right now. Yeah.
and that's why I said I won't even touch that because these are parents that are grieving right now.
Yeah.
Um, and if her parents happen to see this, I want them to know I will never shame that. I'm not going to even touch on that because no, which she couldn't even clearly say no because she was not. She was 4 times the legal limit. So yeah, I'm not touching that with anything.
Right.
And to
But that's
shame
why
her,
my one comment said, like, you got to be smarter. Like, you gotta know. Don't accept shit from people you don't know. Don't go by yourself. Like, don't even
yeah.
trust.
So
Don't trust nobody. You know, like don't. And then so she worked at this bar. Supposedly, that's what you guys said. Her friend
so
supposedly worked
far,
at this bar. People at the bar, so they know her. So if she's in there and she was that fucking drunk, nobody at the bar that she knew could see that and stop her or pull her aside or get her in a safe place. Come on. Now it's
yeah,
sounding like it was a setup, like there's so
I
many
don't
different
know. See, I can't
scenarios.
see there. I gotta. All things are alleged right now until
Yeah.
the investigation is done, and there's going
It's
to be,
still a
of course, a
baby.
trial.
That's all that matters. It's a baby and she
So
didn't
yeah,
deserve that.
I'm going to say right here. I stand on the fact that this was not consensual, and my heart goes out to her family, her friends, because a life was lost too soon, and it was taken.
Yeah.
And she is a victim. She is a victim. Thank you, Dom. Thank you. Yes, she is a victim. We don't shame victims. I'll never shame a
No.
victim because that is someone's child, and that would be like them doing the same to me.
And
So
because
with
you're
that,
innocent and you just go along with stuff, that doesn't make it okay for people to do that to you.
and so therefore, I'm gonna stand
Her.
with the family on that, and I'm hopeful that justice will come. And with what's been set up with the rides for um, people that need them, the freshmen at that LSU have set up a ride share. Um, and they also have a foundation that has been set up in her honor. But if you see something, say something, people, and don't shame someone because a lot of times, unfortunately, she didn't live. She did not make it.
Well,
Thank
that's what's wrong
God.
with the world. A lot of people don't want to say anything because then they think that they're going to be
Well,
accused or,
thank
convicted of
God
being a
though.
part of it.
Well, I'm gonna say
I always
this:
get involved, and my husband yells at me because I get involved in shit that, yeah, if I
you
see
have to
something
get
happening at a
involved.
bar, I go, and I'm the one, like, I'll fight that person even though I don't even know what's happening. I know what's happening is fucking wrong, and I
Well, you
go
don't
and
want to
I like,
fight, but
well, I
yeah,
go and initiate myself asking, like, what's the problem here? My husband's like, just leave it alone, leave it alone. I'm not like that. If I see something
yes.
wrong, I go and I just approach it. Not saying I don't fight now all the time, but
Well, that's what I was
I
speaking
don't like
about.
seeing bad stuff. And if
Yeah,
especially because I'm a Scorpio, I can sense it. I
yeah,
go and I
me
try
too.
to help.
So there, what you say, Susan, it makes me wonder how these guys who do these things view their mothers and their sisters. And that's what I'm like. I had the same conversation earlier, um, but I'm going to continue to say the buddy system, people. If you go together, if you arrive together, you leave together. You do not ever leave a friend behind. Never, never. Don't do that, please. And Gracie, if you want to drop the foundation to this young lady, if you want to drop the article that is about the ride share, you're more than welcome to do that.
I don't know, is it like statewide? But there's also MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. You can call that and they will come and pick you up because they've lost a child to a drunk driver or anything like that.
Well, this here, the actual LSU students, the freshman class, actually started this. So this is something that they started as a ride share. That, hey, you know, if you need a ride, they're there. So let me see.
That was on a different story. That was on the Idaho one that I was talking about.
Well, this in here, well, we're not going there, Kat. You're going off topic, honey.
No, but they had the same thing where you call a sister, like a sorority sister or brother or whatever you're in, to come and get you.
Yes.
Because they didn't go out that night.
Yes, I did try to make sure that she was safe. So my thing is, if you see something, say something, people. Because there's a mother and a father and apparently a stepfather that and two young brothers that are going to have to bury a 19-year-old daughter, sister, granddaughter, niece. So her life was snuffed out too soon. And as more comes available, I'm gonna cover it the best that I can, as sensitive as I can, because I don't want a mother or a father to come across their daughter's name in a title and it wasn't handled the way that it should have been handled. So I will always try to be sensitive, especially now. And no, parents are not ever supposed to bury their babies, ever. So this right here, I'm going to leave it here. I just wanted to briefly touch on this. Briefly, because it is an ongoing investigation. And this is nothing I would wish on anybody, no one. And I'm going to put her picture back up. That is a lie that didn't even get to begin at all. 19 years old. And that's her and her mom.
She was
in
college, right? That was her next chapter.
Yeah, she was in college. So that's her mama and her. Beautiful. She's like her mom's mini-me. In my opinion, she does. And that's right there is where her life ended. And thank God for the two good Samaritans that did stop, even though she was run over. Trigger warning. But they did administer CPR until the ambulance got there. She died in the hospital. That's where she passed. But yeah, this is ongoing. So I'm going to leave it at that. And I'm going to thank all of y'all for being here. And as stuff comes out, and even the trial, I will still cover that. And there will be more to come. But for now, may there be justice for Madison Brooks and her parents. And people hopefully will educate their children. You know, even if, yes, you just got to be careful on who you trust and always try to have somebody with you if you're going out. Please, if you have young daughters, please remember, have somebody with you and make sure that that's somebody that is going to leave with you. And you're welcome. I was going to wait until after her services to cover this, but I just felt it needed to be out there because the stories are contradicting. And it was starting to make me mad that they were contradicting. So I wanted to push this out here right now. And prayers to her family, many prayers as the days go, because on the 3rd they will. And this mother, it's her firstborn baby, and I read so much stuff
Her only
that her
daughter.
mother had written. Her mother wrote so much stuff. She's written a lot, and this is older things about how proud she was to be her mother, and how she was proud to watch her grow. She had shared some, this is like from, I think, 2012, cheerleading, she's proud of her baby. That's her firstborn baby. They were growing up together. So y'all are welcome. And thank y'all for being here. And just remember, if you've
Thank you
got
for letting me up, y'all.
no, you're welcome. If you have children, hug your babies, because you don't know. You'll never know when's the last time you're going to see those babies, because of things like this that you don't ever expect to happen. You don't expect these things to ever happen. These are tragedies you don't expect. And it's sad. So with that, I'm going to leave here and just tell you all to pray for this family, because she did leave behind people that cared about her and loved her. So thank y'all for being here. I promise I will continue to cover this as it happens and things are released. Love y'all, and I will see you soon. Love you, Crazy Cat Mama. It's absolutely devastating. It is. So many prayers to her family, and thank you all for being here. Thank you.